Good afternoon and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison, and certainly glad to have you today. And as always, we'll thank BTC Fiber for sponsoring our program, as they do. And you can see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as their cable channel 18. Also, would like to thank Needful Things General Store. They're our sponsor, and they sponsor our program. Go by and see them at Needful Things. You might find some things you need, you might find some things you don't need, but you just want. So go by and check them out. Today we have with us Dave Anderson, and he's the president of the Friends of the Park here in Dunlap. And it's not just Harris Park, you have other activities as well, right, Dave?
Right, yeah. Friends of the Park is a not-for-profit formed for parks and recreational activities, not just in the city of Dunlap, but in Sequatchie County. So we're countywide.
Oh, okay, countywide. Well, that's good to know. And your organization was formed, what, about a year ago, a couple years ago?
It's probably going on 10 months now. We were formed, we got our EIN number. It just took about that long to get our IRS authorization. So, and we just recently received that a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's good. And that'll help y'all out in the future for future events, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And allows our donors to write that off and be tax deductible. So.
Oh, okay, good. Because a lot of the events you have here, like the movies you have here at the park and other events that you have that y'all are involved with, y'all can get those donations for different things, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, we're sponsors along with the city, and the local small businesses have been great support for us. So we'd like to include them in everything we do. The Game Shack and Game Shack Retro with Randy Black down there is running a lot of our sound for. We actually do some musical events. We tried that this year, and we'll expand on that here in the coming years. So that's always good.
Well, I know a lot of those events have been, well, for the most part, pretty successful. Considering a lot of them are the first time that you operated and did those things, so they've been pretty successful here, haven't they?
Yeah, we've had great success and support from the community. As you start out anything, it starts out small and it builds. And once people find out what's going on, it just builds from there. We have good support from the mayor. Clinton, is real supportive. He wants to use more utilization out of the stage and Harris Park. And then talking to the county mayor, Executive Cartwright there, he'd like us. He's supportive as well. And once we get up and running and get a little bigger, we can maybe do some things down at Griswold as well. So.
Oh, that would be nice, because that would, if you did things at Griswold, that would there's more parking, bigger areas to deal with. So.
Right. So as we get bigger, we need bigger areas. Valley Fest with Eric Reed over there now as the new president. We're working with him as well, and Karen within Stitches is a member of our group as well. So yeah, we have some great supporters and great members, and we're doing good things.
Well, that's good, because it takes a lot of. I know you have a nice size. Well, I won't say a nice size group. I'm not sure how big is your group, Friends of the Park.
We have about 15 to 20 members right now, and as you know, you have 15 or 20 members, but not everybody can participate. And a lot of our members are exactly who we want, which are parents of children. So they got a lot of activities going on. So you can't always get them to come in and do movies at the park, or especially Saturday events that with the sports and everything we have going on. So out of those members, you have a few that can participate with this event or that event, and that's fine, and that's what we're looking for. So.
But then they have a vested interest in the park of doing activities since they're parents and stuff. They want other things for the children.
Absolutely.
Well, I know before Harris Park came about, and really the old Griswold Park, there wasn't really a whole lot of stuff for the children around here to do.
No, and that's kind of where I come from with forming the Friends of the Park. Originally, when I first started working here 8 years ago now, I figured, okay, we can do a Friends of the Park. They can go around and help us pick up some trash and keep the park clean. Out of working full-time with the city for the last 5-6 years, trying to apply for grant monies, out of frustration, I figured out that these grant monies and some of the monies that the city has or doesn't have to contribute to expanding the park and keeping the park up, it was frustrating. So I said, what else could we do? The not-for-profit arm then came in, where a not-for-profit isn't as restrictive as a city government or county government. We can do things that they can't necessarily do, and we have the ability to fundraise, which is huge. When I started working here, the playground has been the same And then talking to some of the locals that have been here forever, they said that playground has been the same forever.
Yeah.
We've recently applied for a couple different grants, and it's looking pretty positive. CBDG grant for updating the current playground at Harris Park. We have another grant that's in the pipeline with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we put that out there with great community support. We had over 275 letters of support with that.
Oh,
so
good.
we've applied for that, and that'll be a mid-December when we hear something on that.
And I know that one was really a nice grant for a nice park facility, separate.
Right, now that's going to be located off-site of Harris Park. It's at the, I don't know if people know where the Briggs Smith property is, but it's right there at the beginning of the walking trail on the Greenway. As you enter the Greenway there on the right-hand side, the big lot that we keep mowed down, that's where potentially that Blue Cross Blue Shield would go. And that'll be great if we can get that.
And I know y'all been striving real hard to get some things for handicapped children for the park.
Right. People ask all the time, and I try to simplify. They say, well, it's ADA, and Americans with Disabilities Act means, to simplify it, is if I have someone in a wheelchair, I can get you access to a facility. What we're proposing for the Briggs Smith, the Blue Cross Blue Shield grant, is an all-inclusive. Not only can I get you into the playground, but now you can access any of the areas in the playground and utilize the equipment. So they're designed for children with special needs so that they can actually get in there and play, sensory perception and everything else. So it's a little bit different, all-inclusive versus an access. I like to describe it to people that don't understand. I said, I can get your wheelchair into the sand. Once you get into the sand, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can get the access is the ADA requirement, and that's the arm that we all have to conform to. It's been around for a while, but now all-inclusive means now you have the ability to actually play on all the items that we have. So that's the difference.
And that's been a big thing, I know, for a lot of people. I have family members that have children with disabilities, and they need those things as well. And we have several around town here as well that have disabilities.
We do. We have. It was actually surprising when we put that out there on Facebook, and we asked for support. We got quite a few people that were saying, "Oh yeah. I have this one. I have that one." I received some letters from some people that, like yourself, I didn't realize that someone in their family and family members had disabilities, and their children were never able to access playgrounds and play. So yeah, there are quite a few. The other thing about it is we also receive many people from outside Sequatchie County that come just to access the splash pad.
Yes.
So that'll be a big draw if we can get that in there.
Oh yeah, that would be great. And I mean, I know we're trying to draw tourism dollars into the area, and bring people over here just to see our valley. But like you mentioned, I know some people that, like you mentioned, splash pad, that have come from out of town. I know a few people that have done that.
Right.
And they love it because it's small, it's right here, it's family friendly.
Absolutely. I like to always describe it to the mayor. When I talk to the mayor, it's always about dollars and how much it costs to operate the park, which is what he needs to be looking at. And I said, well, what we're driving here is when you drive around and you look at the tags and you look at where they're coming from Pikeville, they're coming from Marion County, they're coming from Bledsoe, they're coming from all the counties around us, even so far as Athens and Spencer. So they come to utilize the splash pad. Well, when they're here, they're obviously going to buy gas, they're going to buy food, stop at the Walmart, which is going to generate revenue. So no, the park doesn't charge for these activities, but we do generate revenue back into the community and the small businesses. And that's what we're all about.
Right. And also, instead of just being the president of the Friends of the Park, you're kind of the city's park manager. Yeah,
I'm the park director, so yeah, I'm wearing two hats there, which is a good thing. I mean, I love being the park director. We have a lot of activities. We have a small group. My guys, keep the park up. If anybody's been to the park, I'm sure you enjoy it. And if you haven't been, I invite you to come and see what we got going on. Not only do we have the park, but now we have the Greenway that goes all the way to the school. And we keep that up, and it's looking really, really nice.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's ours as well. We do have the river launch now. We just did the ribbon cutting over at the river launch, and we maintain that as well over there. So, yeah, we invite people to come out and see what we have going on and our plans for the future. We did put in a little bit of the first part of our skate park And hopefully this year we want to get our basketball court relocated on the other side of the playground here. So come visit, look and see what's going on, ask questions, and we're happy to answer anything that anybody has.
Well, I know used to, when the basketball court was right out here, that I remember seeing, I'd drive by all times of the day and night, and you could see kids out here playing basketball all the time.
Right. We do have a, hopefully, this is kind of a wish. I believe we have funding for the basketball court. We're going to try to put a couple pickleball courts in as well. Because as you know, pickleballs have taken off. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's almost a daily thing. Someone will come to me and say, oh, we got to have a pickleball court. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah, I recently read some information on pickleball courts that if you had, I think it was 10 courts, you could have tournaments.
Yeah, I believe Miss Gina is one of our members as well, and she's like she's a very, very accomplished pickleball player. She said, what did she tell me? Between 6 and 8, and then you can actually have tournaments and stuff. And I said, okay, I don't know that we'll have that many this time. Hopefully we get a couple in over there. But yeah, she's our resident expert in pickleball.
Oh yeah, because she's won some championships.
Oh, she's got the gold, the silver, bronze, and several golds now, I believe. So yeah, she's the pickleball queen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play against her. After I saw all those, I thought, no, I'll let her teach me the rules.
Exactly. Yeah, you come over and start a little class for us. That's fine.
Yeah, and she's good. And see, pickleball, like you said, it's really exploded nationwide.
It has.
A few years ago, I didn't know what pickleball was, and when I started hearing pickleball, what is that? But when you actually watch it, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, there's a lot of exercise. I asked her the other day, I said, Miss Gina, is there a lot of injuries? And she goes, oh yeah, some of these folks get serious about it. And there's different levels. She explained to me how advanced it gets, and I'm like, wow. I just start out at the basic down here.
Yeah, and the courts are not that big.
No, they're smaller than a regular tennis court. So I think you can get 2 on a regular tennis court, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, and that would be good. I bet you'd be surprised that you'd probably have people sitting outside waiting to get their chance on the court.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. They have an indoor facility that they do over here at the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds there, and that's always, I think that's always full. So people are always waiting to get on there. I think that's the only one we have here locally. So hopefully we can get a couple courts this year.
And you mentioned the skateboard park. It was started just this year, right?
Right. The skate park, and it's just a ramp, but it was 100% funded by the Be More Gavin group with Justin and his wife and his daughter Sadie Jones. They funded that completely. Justin did all the work himself, so that didn't cost the city anything. But the amount of use that we get, there's people say, well, is skateboard really a thing anymore? Well, it is. And we're just looking to expand on that hopefully this coming year as well. So we have a lot of lofty goals, and now that we have our 501c, we'd like to maybe go out and find some donors that have some big money that they want to. They don't know what they want to do with, but it'd be great to invest in the park. So
well, and awesome. that would be good because it gives not only children, but it gives adults other things to do as well instead of finding things that getting into,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if we get our basketball court, expand on our skate park, and if we get our grants, I mean, within the next 3 to 5 years, we could change the landscape of parks and recreation in the city and the county. So that's all good. It's all good stuff.
And then that would expand your program as well. You'd have more areas that give you more responsibility.
That would expand our job requirements. Yes.
Maybe get an assistant director. We'll see. You have to talk to Clint about that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to the mayor.
But I mean, that's a great thing because when I remember this site when it used to be the jail right here, and all that was just all weeds, all grown up.
Yep.
And then Mayor Wagner started the first playground over there,
right,
and got it going, and he was able to get Harris Park to the property, to get it going. So and that was a good thing. When it first started, I wondered about
Yeah.
how that was going to go, but now you look at it and think, wow, it's just tremendous.
Yeah, some people have told me, they said, yeah, and the playground's probably still the same when he made it, when he originally put it in. Now we have Miss Betty, who works for the city, still doing some of our flowers and decorating. She used to tell me she mowed the park when it was just a little small area with a push mower, and it's like, no, those days are over.
Yeah. You got a lot more area here now, and it's just really nice in the farmers market right here by the Harris Park. That stays busy on the Saturdays.
The farmers market has really taken off. Miss Laura Jones has taken that over, and she has done great things with the farmers market. So we can't speak highly enough about her and what she's doing there. Between the craft vendors and just the produce and the farmers market end of it has expanded really well this year, and she's looking to expand again next year. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, and every time I've been, of course, I see a lot of the same people come each team, but I also seem like each week there's somebody new.
Somebody new, yeah. And as the word gets out, and we continue to grow. It's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. She's pretty much utilized all the space in the farmers market, and she's coming outside. So
yeah,
I don't know what she has planned for next year, how we're going to expand further, but I'm sure she's got it covered.
Maybe just expand the building out this way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll just build another pavilion.
Yeah. I mean, you have a little room to play with here, but then, of course, we use this for the 4th of July. It's always, and this past year was one of the biggest years of 4th of July.
We did. We had a really great 4th of July this year, and we stayed kind of local talent, and we did kind of a little classic rock theme, and it worked out really well. We've heard really no negative feedback from that. It was all good, and it's an off year. It's not a weekend day, and it's coming up again. And we might, in talking to the mayor again, we might do another state local thing instead of paying a big name act to come in. I think it went over really well, and there's so much local musical talent here that it's hard to believe how many actually quality good musicians we have. So why not use them? They want to play, we have a venue, come on out.
Yeah. And that actually opens up this stage a lot of times for like weekends that when you don't have something going on, you can have a concert with local people.
Exactly. Yeah. The only requirement that the city has is that it needs to be sponsored by a not-for-profit group, which again, Friends is willing to sponsor. If somebody wants to come out and put on a concert, we're willing to sponsor. We'll obviously need to figure out what kind of music you're going to play, because not everything's acceptable to everybody.
Right.
But we're all good. We're pretty open as to what we want to present and sponsor.
And I know this year there were some skeptics in the community because they're used to the country music, and when they found out it's going to be local and it's going to be rock and roll, not a big name band, and some of them, well, hey, that's different. That's not what, and they didn't think it was going to fly. When it comes to fruition, more people stayed here at the park most of the day. More people were here when the fireworks started. It was just a big day. It
was, and what we tried to do as the park director, I partnered up with Michael over at the Rescue Squad. The Rescue Squad's actually in charge of the 4th of July activities, and the city sponsors the bands. What Friends did was, Friends went to Michael and said, hey, what can we do to help you? What we were hearing from the community was they would like some of the older games back, the bingo and the dunk tank. So Friends sponsored those two activities. We went back out to our local dignitaries. We had the sheriff, the mayor, the police chief. They all got in the dunk tank, which made it a great success. We heard nothing but positive. And the whole genre of classic rock versus, some of the things that we heard was, well, our heritage is that, and I get that, and we're respective of that. But there are so many new people here as well, and we have to kind of like, we'll balance that. So you want to hear this, and they want to hear. So we'll do different things at different times, and we want to sponsor music in the park and all kinds of music. We had the Sandra Roberts. We had a benefit, and it was Christian music, and they were outstanding. They were really good, and we hope to do something like that again in the future. So.
Well, see, the stage leaves it open for any genre of music.
Absolutely.
Like I say, there might be some music you wouldn't want.
No.
You know that, but like you say, rock and roll, the country, bluegrass. There's all kind of music out there. Now, you know, I grew up in rock and roll, 70s and 80s rock and roll.
Right.
But I worked for a country music station.
There you go.
So, you know, and so I'm beginning to learn more country music. Now, there's some songs I don't like naturally, but there's some rock and roll songs I didn't like either. So, but you know, it just leaves it open. You just got to have an open mind to this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure y'all are open, the Friends of the Park. If someone had an idea about something, they could just come to you and say, "Hey, what about this? Have y'all thought about this?" Maybe something y'all thought about, but maybe haven't had the opportunity to do yet.
Right. No, absolutely. We're receptive. Anybody wants to, Friends of the Park, we're on Facebook, Friends of the Park of Sequatchie County. You can reach out there. We don't have our website up yet, but we're working on that as well. So we'll be expanding slowly. We don't want to overstep and overgrow too fast. We kind of like, we'll bring you in. If you want to come in and be a member of our friends group, that's fine. Come hang around with us and see what we're about. We'll have, we have our open meetings and if it's a good fit, then I'm more than willing to take you on as a volunteer. We're all volunteers. There's no paid director. There's no paid administrator at all. So everybody with Friends of the Park volunteers 100% of their time. So if you see us, we're not getting paid.
Right.
I mean, we're doing it for the children.
Right, you're not doing it for anything else. You're just doing it for the goodness of the park and the goodness of the children here and the people of Sequatchie County.
Absolutely, and I've heard it so many times with so many different venues and so many different events that this community is so well supported, no matter what it is, and it is. Being the park director and running with certain events that happen, the community always supports local, and it's no different with us. We're receiving the same amount of support. Our local businesses are awesome. Anytime we ask them if we need something, if we want something, they're right there to provide support. So it's just a great place to work and a great place to live and have a not-for-profit like this.
Well, you talking about all the local businesses. I've noticed over the years that I know, and most of Dunlap is small businesses, but I've noticed that a lot of those small businesses, I know they get hit up by everybody. And understandably so, but at the same time, they're willing to help in some way.
They are.
It might be monetarily, or they might say, well, if you need some food, I can go get the food and pay for food or something instead.
Right. Well, just like we talked about with the musicians, we have so much musical talent. There's a lot of business entrepreneurs that have a lot of skill sets. We have several of them in our group. They come from different backgrounds and different skill sets, and we utilize them. I might not need your money, but I need your expertise in this area, and that's what they bring to the group, and it's awesome. So we have teachers, we have business owners, we have entrepreneurs. So yeah, the whole group is so diverse, and they bring such knowledge to the group that we capitalize on. So it doesn't necessarily mean I need to go to a business for money. I'll give you an example with Randy Black as a musician and a sound guy. He's got a vast amount of experience with sound and
Yes.
lighting, and it's like, so we go to him and say, we want to put on a concert. Well, he's right there. Let me set up the sound equipment for you. I got it. Let's do it. So, instead of a monetary contribution, we just need his professionalism, and that's what he gives us. And throughout the group, we have several members that are just like that. They'll step up and provide whatever they can in their area of expertise.
And a lot of people, maybe if they come to an event, they haven't seen all the background work that's put into it, and the sometimes hours, and I know y'all don't put on Valley Fest, but you just use that as an example. There's a lot of work that goes on at Valley Fest days before the actual concerts begin.
Yeah, it's the same with 4th of July here.
Yeah.
Working with the rescue squad and Michael, and he'll tell you there's a lot beforehand. It's not just the day of the event. It's a lot even with the music art. Even though we stayed local, it's not any different. It's logistically trying to get them all lined up and together, and who's going to play when and where. So yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, because they're setting up a schedule is crazy.
Pretty much.
And then when you tell people that like vendors, so well, you're going to be here, you're going to be here. You putting them in places, and some of them depending on whether they need electricity or not.
That's right.
And because you only have so much electricity around, so you have to figure out who needs it and who doesn't.
Yes, sir.
And so forth. So, and then their size. I know you've had some food trailers and stuff before that, not necessarily here, but they'll be right behind the stage here where they can fit in a slot.
Right. Yeah, we have areas for our food vendors that we kind of designated, and that's been working out real good. Renegade Foods is a supporter of our group as well, and he does an awesome job when he comes out. We've got a couple other local food and beverage vendors that come out. So yeah, and we want to expand on that next year. In the coming year, we want to make that a bigger thing. We'll see what we're going to do around the Christmas holiday and see how that works out for us as well. So we have a lot on our plate. It's just a matter of logistically trying to plug that all in. So.
Well, in time, like you said, you started small, about a year old, and so by the time you get things going and you learn from one event to the next event, and then certain things come up and you go, oh,
yeah. Oh, but yeah. Let's not do that again.
yeah. Because I mean that happens sometimes.
It does. It does.
Because sometimes you think an idea is a great idea, and then when you put it into action, it's not such a great idea.
Not everything's a success.
Yeah. So, but and I've been here when y'all have had your movies, our pre-movie. I put it that way. One evening we came by and saw everybody with the popcorn and the things you had going on over there, and I thought that was pretty neat to do for people, because who watches a movie without popcorn?
Oh, right? Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Now we had most of our group was committed to the Josh Kell benefit concert, and then we scheduled the movie at the same day. So we did. Actually, the mayor stepped up and sold sodas, and they had a pretty good time with the last movie here last weekend. So yeah, that worked out.
Does that movie, the movie nights, continue to win? The
movie nights, we don't have another one scheduled. We were talking about this the other day, and the mayor and I had said, do we want to do? The problem with right now, while the weather's cool, there's so many activities going on, so many festivals. Tennessee football, they're playing on Saturday, so it's hard to plug things in and get people to come out. So movies will continue. We don't know if we're going to have another one this year, but when in the spring, we're more than willing to put them back up. So we're going to do some different things here, coming up with movies, maybe every other weekend or something. So yeah, they'll be back.
I mean, I think that's really a good idea, because it gives people a chance to get out of the house, and they don't have to go to a theater and pay a big price to watch a movie. And the movies y'all have had have been really neat movies. They're good movies for everybody.
Yeah, when we first started them, the movies weren't that great, but we still had a good turnout, because like you said, it's something free. All you need to do is buy a soda and a popcorn, or a water and a popcorn, and you're good to go for the evening. So, but yeah, all our movies this past year have been really good movies. So they're we've had a pretty good turnout, and we appreciate everybody coming out. It's a good time.
Well, you think about it, here you can just bring you a blanket and sit right out here on the grass, or you can bring your camp chair and sit out there, and that's more like camping out and watching a movie.
That's right.
Maybe when you have Scare on the Square, you can do Friday the 13th or something.
Yeah, we thought about that. It was like, I don't know.
You want people to come, you don't want to scare them off, right?
That's true.
Well, Dave, is there anything we haven't talked about you'd like to talk about and bring up that I haven't asked?
You know I can talk for a long time, so, but I think we've covered about everything.
Well, I do appreciate you being with us today and telling people about Friends of the Park. And if they want to be involved, contact you or any of the members. If they know the members, check the Facebook page.
Yeah, check the Facebook page. Get with a member through the membership. That you'll be able to find more about us. So, and we're going to update our Facebook page here coming up in the next week or so as well. So. Yeah, that'll be on there. I appreciate your time, sir.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you for the invite.
Well, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and just schedules.
Schedules are tough.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad we got to sit down and talk about it, and I want to get people more involved with Friends of the Park.
Great.
I know y'all are going to be busy. Cycle Sequatchie, you're going to be.
We do. We're going to help them with Cycle Sequatchie this year. We did it in the past, and that's a good time. That's a fun time. I hope everybody comes out for the bike event, and support Oktoberfest as well. So it'll be good. It'll be fun.
You're not going to dress up like the mayor.
I'm not going to dress up like the mayor this year. I don't look as good as he does.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being with us. And as always, again, you can see these interviews on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as their cable channel 18. And again, thankful for Needful Things General Store on Highway 127. And until next time, have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.